All right, it's time to look at some AI-generated Magic the Gathering cards. Let's see if the AI got smarter or dumber. Okay, we're going to start off with the Guide Spell. This is a 5-mana, 1/7 horror. It's a legendary creature. Guide Spell is the number of cards in your graveyard. Does not compute! Also doesn't make sense. Does not pass. Thou shall not pass. You can be the number of cards, and it highlighted the power and toughness. It's the number of cards in your graveyard. Okay. There's a world where I guess that's possible. It's not this world though. Flying Reveler. This is a 4-mana artifact. It looks like a Navinral's disc to me. It's like a disc made out of Navinral's discs. Flying Reveler enters the battlefield tapped. Pay a black tap. Exile Fly Reveler. Each player exiles all cards from their library. Interesting. It's basically a win condition, right? Because I just pop this on my turn and it's game over. I just pass. Do you have any cards left in your deck? No, you lose. Then you lose. Then you lose. Then you lose. And I am the victor. Steve Cooper's like, it's danger! But print it anyway. This is like one of the more fair I win the game cards on the spot. So it costs 4 mana, which is quite a bit. But it's going to come into play tapped. You have a whole turn to either kill the opponent, remove this thing, whatever you need to do. Just get on your horse and do it already. If it was just to graveyard, it'd be a little bit more fair. Oh, you mean like dumping the entire deck into the graveyard? That's interesting. Maybe powering up some decks. It's possible if you dump my deck into my graveyard, I'll become more powerful than you could possibly imagine. Leveler. Oh yeah, another Leveler card spotted. Yeah, a good thing. That's a good idea. Oh no, the difference between this and Leveler is that Leveler only affects us. It doesn't affect the opponents. This one affects everybody. Yeah, Navinral's disc for the library. It's impressive that the AI could even make something like this. We know something like this would end up in Amulet decks, definitely. Or or even Voltaic Key decks, Manifold Key, anything that can untap an artifact on the spot. Rehab Red says, since it entered tapped, at least it always gives the opponent the ability to react to it, even if they have some untap effect. Okay, that being said, I think this is just too easy for a 1-card win condition. There's no way in hell Wizards would ever print this thing. Nowhere. No way. Not in a million years. Everyone would play this. Because the first person to pop this off wins. There might be a world where you can like put cards back on top of your deck and then screw over the person that had who activated Fly Reveler. So I don't know, maybe there's a metagame where you can play around this thing, but whatever. It's slow for an AI generated card. That's true. Most AI generated cards try to win immediately on the spot. Usually 0 mana and I win the game. Okay, next up we got the Surge of the Pyromancer. This is a 3-mana 2/3 human wizard. 2 mana, sacrifice another creature, search your library for a basic land card, put onto the battlefield tapped, then shuffle. Whenever Surge of the Pyromancer attacks, if a creature is untapped, put a +1/+1 counter on target creature you control. Interesting. Whenever an opponent discards a card, you may return Surge of the Pyromancer from your graveyard to your hand. This is just an overall, like, a huge value card. I mean, it's value all over the place. I imagine if you try to kill, like, one of my creatures, well, in response, I can pay 2 mana, sack that creature, and I get a basic land card onto the battlefield tapped. I play a creature for the turn, and I attack. Well, I have an untapped creature. That means I get a +1/+1 counter on any creature I control. And also, whenever I can make you discard a card in some way, like with Windfall or Wheel of Fortune. And then when I do that, I just put this thing back into my hand from the graveyard. Bounced right back to hand. It's the Supreme Value Machine. Value is the Pyromancer's middle name. It's called Surge Value Pyromancer. The first text is way more black in color. Since when did the AI ever care about, the color pie? Never. No respect for the color pie. Nothing. All this for 3 Absolutely ship it. You know what? I agree with you, Kano. This is a complete ship. It might be a little overpowered, but I guess it's okay. Yeah, the value mancer. I like that. The value mancer. We got the Drifter. This is a 6-mana 1/3 elemental incarnation with Defender. You may look at the top card of your library anytime. You may cast common spells from the top of your library. When Drifter dies, you may return target creature card from your graveyard to your hand. You can look at the top card anytime. Cast common spell. What is this? Like an unglued card? Commons? So like what? And then the uncommons and the rares and mythic rares, I have to naturally draw those. But at least when it dies, we can return a creature card from our graveyard back to our hand. Pauper players love this. Honestly, I don't even know if they would. 6 mana for a 1/3 defender. That sort of stinks in the grand scheme of things. Okay, finally, commons are useful. Does any card mentions a card's rarity that isn't an unsacked card? Not that I know of. I would say absolutely not. So this card,
No, God, please, no.
not. It's on the naughty list of cards. It's a rare too, so not even playable in Pauper. Contradicts itself, Drifter. If you find a Drifter with your Drifter, see, Drifters won't pick up Drifters. How hypocritical. The hypocrisy of the Drifter. Amazing. I don't like it. I don't like it because I don't think it's real. Well, none of these cards are real, but it would never fly in the Wizards of the Coast territory. Okay, Territorial Cavalry. This is a 3-mana 2/2 Racker. Oh, by the way, where's our bingo card? We're supposed to have a bingo card today. We always have a bingo card. I think Racker, it's a snow creature, or is this how you spell racer? I thought racer is just R-A-C-E-R. Trample haste. Whenever a source deals damage to Territorial Cavalry, prevent that damage, and you snap this creature. Snap! Snap in the name of the law. And at the beginning of your upkeep, if dealt damage to you this turn, look at the top 2 cards of your library, put one of them into your hand and the rest on the bottom of your library in an absolutely random order. Remember to stop, prevent that damage, and you stop this creature. You gotta stop the creature. You gotta stop it from trampling the other person down. It might get really ugly around here. Okay, hold on. A bingo card is on the way. What is it? What does the AI show without the bingo card? Okay, I got something. Here we go. I don't know if anything's been triggered yet, but we'll find out eventually. Okay, that looks good. Everything's well positioned. Is this a new? I think this is a new creature type. No card or creature type. New creature type. New. Is there not a new one? Return of an old mechanic? Not really. Haste is an old mechanic, but it's also being used even as of today. The art looks like something from World War I or World War II. It's possible. It's absolutely possible. Came from Bing AI. Yeah, Stap is the new look at it. It's possible. Okay, well, there's no such thing as Stap this creature, so it almost passed, but really it failed. Okay, we got Erebos' Strangle. Does anyone remember who Erebos is? I don't, to be honest. Okay, it's a 3-mana enchantment. Now, it's going to give the creature Skulk. Creatures you control have pay 3. All the creatures? Pay 3, tap. Target creature gets +1/+1 until end of turn. Whenever you scry, you may cast a spell with mana value 3 or less from your hand without paying its mana cost. Oh my god! At the beginning of your end step, each opponent creates a 5/5 white angel creature token with flying. The chaos of this thing! How is... Oh no, this is just an enchantment. Okay, I thought this was an aura, because it said Skulk. It actually doesn't make any sense that there is Skulk on an enchantment. He's the god of the underworld on Theros, no? Something like that. Erebos is the Greek god of dark. I don't know if it's a Greek god. I'm pretty sure Erebos was created by Magic the Gathering. Now, it's based on the Greek gods, but not an actual Greek god, because there's no Greece in Magic the Gathering. The last I saw. I don't... Did we ever go to the Greece plane? Kirk says this card kind of sucks, but I'm sure there's some madman that will try to break it, so print it. I can't print it. It says Skulk on it. When I saw Skulk, I thought this was an aura, but this is just a regular card. Isn't Theros based on ancient Greece? Based on ancient Greece, but not in Greece. It is a Theros god, not a Greek god. Last I checked. So if you animate it, it can't be blocked by creatures mana value 3 or more. I guess that's the deal. We just need, what, Opalescence, I think the card is? And then my enchantments can get in for the attack. If the enchantment becomes a creature. There's like this very narrow range of cards that will turn it into a creature. Anyway, I don't like that Skulk. It's not gonna fly for me. It's also possible that all these other abilities don't fly. At the beginning of your end step, each opponent creates. Actually, wow, it's not even helping us. We are literally buffing our opponents up with a bunch of 5/5 flyers. This is crazy. No, but we do have the RMS Titanic and the Leonardo da Vinci. We do have those things. Bingo for Skull. It's not that old. I don't think. You know, it needs to be older than that. Okay, we got the Fright Lice Apprentice. You got lice. This person had lice, and so, okay, how do I Googled how to deal with lice the fastest, and the answer came up: blow torch your head on fire. But you know what? You might not have hair again for the rest of your life, but you don't have lice anymore. The lice problem is gone. 6 mana for a 13/13 elemental. 13/13. Indestructible. Whenever another non-token vampire you control leaves the battlefield, each opponent discards a card. At the beginning of each opponent's upkeep, that player chooses an attacking creature. Attacking creature, I choose you. 6 mana for a 13/13 indestructible. Yeah, that's definitely a look at it. You know what? I'll take that. That's a look at it card. We have look at it here. Literally, I'm going to choose my creature. The Library of Alexandria was built by the Ptolemaic dynasty, and they were Greek. Good enough? Honestly, yes. I'll take that. Okay, so there is Greece, apparently, in Magic the Gathering. That doesn't change the fact that the Theros gods are not Greek. Beginning of upkeep, an attacking creature. Can this even happen? At the beginning of each opponent's upkeep, that player chooses an attacking creature. That's right, it can't. This is impossible. This is like you cannot. It's quite the conundrum. How on earth? Somehow we're at our upkeep, but we're choosing an attacking creature at the same time. Why? How is this possible? Breaks the laws of physics. Does it qualify? No, it definitely does not qualify as the AI giving up halfway. This is not there's like only 2 paragraphs here. Okay, anyway, I say no. Wow, we are disqualifying a ton of cards. This is all crap. This is all gonna end up on the cutting room floor. It battles Cyclops, a 2 mana 2/1 Kithkin wizard. Tap, gain control of target artifact for as long as it battles Cyclops remains on the battlefield. White, put target creature card with its mana value less than or equal to its battle's Cyclops power from your graveyard into your hand. The hell? Gain control of target artifact for as long as... Okay, that's pretty impressive. So I can steal artifacts every single turn. I mean, that's pretty wild. And then we can put a creature card with mana value less than or equal to the power from my graveyard into my hand. This is absolutely strong. I can steal, like, soul rings every single turn. Take your mana crypt. Steve Cooper said, this is okay. Zyber's with me. You know, honestly, it's not supremely busted. It is very good value. And by the way, if you don't have any artifacts, this card turns to crap. It's just a 2 mana. It's a 2 color, 2 mana, 2/1, which is, by the way, supremely bad in this game. It's just promoted to good because you can steal artifacts. And you can't even steal treasures because you can sack them in response. If it dies, your opponent gets... Yeah, you get all the artifacts back. It's right, you know, it steals all your stuff until you catch him. Then when he goes to jail, you get all your stuff back. Jess, thank you so much for the super chat. Nikachu goes door to door. Have you heard of our Lord and Savior Magic the Gathering? Hands him a business card with his channel on it. Maybe I even hand them a booster pack. Give him a little taste. Thanks so much for the super chat. We'll take a look at an extra card by the 1 hour point of the show. AI seems to love Is It. AI loves all the cards, all the colors. Okay, this is a pass. Thank God. We have at least one. Okay, we have Tyrant's Thought. It's a land. Reminds me of Grove of the Burned Willows. Enters the battlefield tapped. Tap, add a red or a green. Tyrant's Thought deals 1 damage to you at the beginning of your end step. If a permanent you controlled left the battlefield this turn, an opponent loses 1 life and draws 2 cards. Why is there a static ability on this? So this was like Grove of the Burned Willows. Oh, wait a minute. What? This is a terrible ability. This is awful. Yeah, they get the draw. Okay, I take it back. This is not what we wanted at all. This screws me. This is more of a group hug card at the beginning of your end step. So we want to donate this thing to somebody else? Is this play to lose? Not necessarily. No, because we're not. This is a disadvantage. Play to lose means we lose. We literally lose. Lets your opponent pay 1 life to draw 2 cards. An opponent. It's interesting. We have to choose an opponent. But we have to choose an opponent. An opponent loses 1 life and draws 2 cards. Okay, here's the advantage. Here's the good news. We got to think of this glass half full. They still lose 1 life. All right. They went down 1 point. The journey of 40 life points starts with a single point. Okay, legal, but incredibly terrible. So bad. Quill says, Nikachu, my wife fractured her foot and is in a boot right now. Are there any damage prevention or life gain cards I can use to help her? Healing salve. I don't know if that's any good though, in her situation. Okay, we have a fort. Is that it? It's just a basic forest. Was this a Kamigawa forest or something? Instearment Assassin. The 4 mana for 1819. And it's got Bestow for 8 mana. At the beginning of your upkeep, you gain X life, where X is the number of opponents you have. Very obviously, you know, this would be a much more interesting card if it didn't have the 1819 part of this thing. So you can have this, you can have turn 2 1819 now. Oh, it's a legendary creature. And it's a legendary creature. X, AI used X properly. Is that even on the bingo card? Usually, okay, AI did use the X properly in that case. Yeah, that's definitely been used properly. Very strong. Perfect commander for my 1v100 commander deck. You know, so it's funny. It does not deal 21 damage though. But it's very close to a one-shot. It's very close to a one-shot kill commander. Are there any commanders 21 power? I don't think so. Bestow. It needs to be an aura enchantment creature. Oh, you're right. It's not an enchantment. So the Bestow is actually useless. You know, I wouldn't mind they make like a commander. It's legendary and it literally just hits for 21 damage. It's like a 21/7 and it costs 5 mana and it's legendary and it's just vanilla. Its whole point is to hit you once and hit you hard and it's over. I'm in Rug and I'm like 90% certain you can give this unblockable +3/+3 easy, says Quadratical. I don't doubt you. Okay, disqualified. Bestow not used properly. Dragon, Filness, Rhino. I don't see a dragon or a rhino in any of this. What is this? Is this unicorn pea or something? They're harvesting the pea. It's like, all right, get in this barrel and at will, just do your business. It's good. It's good stuff. It pees this sort of juice and probably poops ice cream. Okay, it's a 5/6 unicorn for 5 mana with Encore for 3. I don't remember what the Encore mechanic is. Whenever Dragon Phyllis Rhino attacks, add blue, blue, red, blue, blue, green. If you don't, put a +1/+1 counter on your Dragon Phyllis Rhino. You know what? That's a pretty good deal. I don't mind attacking against 6 mana. That's pretty good. That's right, Teamer P. And the ice cream, it probably tastes like blueberries, lime, and cherry. Or raspberry. This is probably raspberry pop right here. Comes out carbonated. Ready for your wonderful consumption. Should probably put in the fridge for like a few hours so it can get nice and cold. This is absolutely a cute art. You know what? Finally, cute art that's actually cute instead of forcing it all the time. You can't opt out of the mana, though, because it doesn't say May. Nope, you get the mana. Or does it? You add this. If you don't... I guess in a world where somehow you are prevented from getting extra mana when you're not allowed to, you put a +1/+1 counter on your Dragon Phyllis Rhino. It needs flying. Well, this unicorn obviously is not flying. It's not going anywhere. It's stuck on the ground. It's being harvested for lots of mana. Look at the sign on the barrel. Lots of oh yeah, okay. Is it on an island or something? Island in the middle of nowhere. In AI Magic, all rules are merely suggestions. Oh yeah, there's no rule book. The AI took the rule book and be like, we don't need this at all. It's pointless. Rules are for chumps. You be really creative. You need to break the rules. You must go beyond the boundaries of what's possible. It was sent to a small island just like Napoleon. Napoleon, the Dragon Phyllis Rhino. Okay. I like it. It's cute. I know what Encore is, though. Encore is a non-bow with Legendary, is it? Okay, maybe this card's supposed to get disqualified. Moving on. Merciless Tattered. Tattered in what way? Oh, I guess the clothes are tattered. What happened to all your clothes, Mr. Wizard? Okay, this is a 3 mana enchantment. Whenever a player casts a spell, you get... Oh, you get an energy. Finally, an energy card that works for me. Tap, pay quadruple energy. Until end of turn, Merciless Tatter becomes a 5/6 giant wizard creature with trample and haste. Now, if you control Swamp for the mages in black, you may cast an instant or sorcery spell from your hand without paying its mana cost. That's pretty good. I think this is pretty cool. All right, so this is an energy producer. It's like Rhystic Study for energy. Don't give that to Boros. But you tap it. You do have to tap it. You gotta tap the Merciless Tattered. Oh, the non-bow. The tap nature of the 5/6 is not good. That's true. So tap, I get 4 mana, and I get a 5/6 wizard, which is tapped on the battlefield. It's tapped. Oh no! We accidentally hurt ourselves in the confusion. Okay, how do we make use of it? It has trample and haste. So what? I need to untap the enchantment. There's not even a whole lot of cards that untap enchantments. So I mean, it's legal though. We gotta think of it on the bright side. This is a perfectly legal ability. Now it's up to you to decide if the tap 5/6 giant is of any use to you. You know, you could fling it afterwards. After all, you only spent 3 mana on this thing. 3 mana and 4 energy. For that reason, it gets a pass. If you activate the ability, it will be a creature. It will be a tapped creature until end of turn. Using it to free cast a black spell makes it open to creature removal. That's true too. So it's a high risk, low reward. Bingo, return of an old mechanic energy. It doesn't feel very old. Like, it's not that... I mean, it's sort of old. It's sort of okay. It's like middle-aged. It needs to be a grandpa mechanic, like super, super old. It must be beyond 15 years. Must go beyond the year 2010 for me to consider it qualifying. Okay, it is a legal card, and we're just gonna move on. Akob, Moonin Avenger. This is a 4-mana 3/3 human shaman. At the beginning of your end step, create a 2/2 black zombie creature token. That's not bad. And for 1 mana, sack a creature. Create 2 1/1 black demon creature tokens with so this creature can't block, and at the beginning of your end step, untap all creatures you control. This is fantastic. On top of that, this triggers for each creature. At the beginning of your end step, untap all creatures you control. Like, if you have a bunch of creatures with tap abilities, then they'll each trigger separately. Noah's like, I would literally play this in Commander. I think everyone would. It's the creature tokens, yeah, 1/1 black demon creature tokens with so for 1 mana I can keep making 2 tokens. By the way, this just gets out of control. For each 1 mana you have, you basically double the creatures. Maybe you don't double the creatures in play, but you can keep sacrificing your 1/1 black demon into 2 1/1 black demons. This is an infinite money glitch. Makes tokens to fuel its own. Exactly. It didn't say sacrifice a non-token creature. I think that's normally what they would do with something like this. That's how Wizards would word it. It untaps the giant wizard. It would do that. Oh! The Merciless Tattered. Finally, we have unlocked synergy. We've done it, Coffee Crew. Okay, what else? No, but it's at the beginning. It's already useless. It's at the beginning of your end step. Untap all creatures you control. Last ability breaks the card. Sure, you can have it. It's a bit weak, but where's the last ability breaks the card? Break is very loose in this case, but it's good. Better than Nadu? Whoa, 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 whoa. Let's not say things we can't take back here. With infinite mana, this basically wins. It doesn't even win on the spot exactly, but Nadu could win on the spot. Which just goes to show how strong Nadu is, that it's better than this broken AI card. Captain Rumia, thanks so much for your super chat. First card of last stream, Festivus of Mistform. Why are you letting us know that? I can't remember why. Was I supposed to be reminded of that? Doesn't need infinite mana, just ability discount. Well, I mean, you're bottlenecked on mana. So it's sort of similar to, what's it called? Skull Clamp. Skull Clamp is good, as long as you have the mana to keep going with it. But when you run out of mana, then it just doesn't do anything anymore. Simple as that. Can you untap creatures, tap them for abilities, and untap with another? Yep, that's exactly how this works. So when you have a 1/1 black demon that has, at the beginning of your end step, untap all creatures you control, each one of those demons will trigger. So when one triggers and resolves, you untap everything, and with the other demons on the stack, you can tap them for abilities. You can tap for mana. You can do whatever the hell you want in that thing. Just so that when we go to extra cards, we know when to stop. Oh, I see. Okay, thanks for letting me know, Captain Rumia. I totally forgot about that. Okay, we're gonna look at more crazy AI generated cards. I think we could let that pass. It's very strong, but it's legal. And that's all we care about on this show. We got to thank our sponsors in between, starting with FusionGamingOnline.com, my favorite place to buy my Magic the Gathering cards. What is the deal of the week this week? We want the weekly deal. What is the dealie? The weekly deal is 20% off all binders and portfolios, savings displayed in card. If you ever want a very nice binder, you got to protect your collection, all right? The collection, it must be protected. You're protected with your favorite binders. Outside of that, you can get your singles, booster boxes, sleeves, and more at FusionGamingOnline.com. And don't forget, when you want to support the channel, you can also save yourself some money using coupon code Nikachu at checkout for 5% off all your purchases. We're also going to thank Mana Traders, the premier place to rent Magic cards on Magic Online. Play Pauper, Standard, Pioneer, Modern, Legacy, Vintage, Commander, One-on-One Commander. All paper formats can be played digitally on Magic Online. And you have access to the entire card pool to play any deck you want with Mana Traders. You can support the channel using my Mana Traders link in the description below, or save 40% cash back on your 3rd month subscription using coupon code Nikachu _4KA. Oh, and back to AI world. It's a crazy world out there. It's dangerous to go alone. It's dangerous to go alone. Take this. Me. You cannot you react to the trigger and tap a mana dork and buy new tokens, which untap the dork and go infinite? Oh! No, actually. Because the new tokens you make cannot trigger at end step. Because the end step, we've already reached the end step, so you can't make new ones. So it won't happen. It won't happen. Does make me wonder that you can, with a bunch of mana on the battlefield, a lot of mana dorks, you could resack the creatures and get more triggers, but it won't go infinite that turn. Strength. Grand Desoit. This is a red, blue, blue, 4 generic 4/5 zombie horror. Can be your commander. At the beginning of your upkeep, choose target tree 4 permanent you control and that spell, and only during their untap steps. At the beginning of your upkeep, if there are 4 or more card types among cards in your graveyard, take an extra turn after this one. Other creatures you control get +1/+1 and gain trample until end of turn. Wow, the last ability is actually a danger. The last ability, so the first ability was just slop. But the second one is it danger, because if you get an extra turn from Delirium, that's it. You go infinite. You get infinite turns. Like, if your opponent didn't stop you the first time around, they're not going to stop you the second time around. Oh, sorry. It's the beginning of your upkeep. If there are 4 more card types among cards in your graveyard, take an extra turn after this one. Yeah. You have Delirium? It's over. Completely over. Funny story, this card gives you unlimited extra turns if you have 4. Yeah. We got Kirabo. That is why cards read at the beginning of the end step and not the end of your turn. It's to make sure that it is a precise moment that only occurs once. Correct. Bingo alert to the rank with this one. Only when I say so. It's a cue when I say so. Does it go to your rank? Choose target creature. Are you talking? Why do we have several people saying your rank? Is there actually your rank here? Looks like it came from the rank. I'm not going to deny that. What if you don't have any tree 4 permanents? I don't know, Dog Tanyan. I don't know. You get Delirium from reading the first part of the card. Oh, do I? Choose target tier 4 permanent you control and that spell, and only during their untapped steps. I'm not sure I do. I'm honestly not sure I do. What's the rank? Frankly, the graveyard. It's an alternate name. Okay, strength. It has no strength. It is an imposter. Okay, we got next up the Generous Prowesser. This is a 3-mana 5 loyalty cave. The cave, it became sentient and it started planeswalking around. Okay, +1, create a 1/1 white human soldier creature token. Then for each loyalty counter on Generous Prowesser, you venture into your graveyard. Instead of like venture into the dungeon, we have venture into your graveyard. Well, what are we going to do when we go there? Do I get like cards back? For each loyalty counter on you venture into your graveyard. Do I get to use the ability on the cards in my graveyard? -2, create a token that's a copy of a creature you control. Yeah, I know. New mechanic, venture in the grave. Is there like a new mechanic thing here? Turn of old mechanic. Yeah, there is. Okay, we can have that new mechanic. Venture into the graveyard. Venture into your graveyard. Pay F to pay respect. -2. Create a token that's a copy of a creature you control. That's cool. -1. Untap up to 4 target permanents. That's also can also untap. Our friend over here, the Merciless Tattered. Fine, we have a lot of synergy. You know, we thought that this card sucked. Turns out, you know, we had to read the rest of the spoiler. Spoiler ended up saying, yeah, there's so many ways of untapping that damn Tattered thing. And then we have -6. You get an emblem with you may play cards exiled with generous prowesser. I don't know what venture into the graveyard does. We get to venture into your rank. You could. Venture. I like this. We have Captain Roommate. Venture into the graveyard to reach the fleshes. Acquire Bane says, can I get this card for my Inspire deck? I'm not sure which one you're talking about now. How long ago? That was 337. Oh, that was many cards back. This one? This one? One of those cards. I have nothing to say about this card. It's like, it's sort of cool. But it also doesn't completely make sense either. Venture to the graveyard could exile cards? Maybe. I'm thinking, like, when you venture into your graveyard, maybe it goes by graveyard order. And as you go further down your graveyard, you can, like, play cards from your graveyard. It's an interesting idea. Sort of like a clunky Snapcaster Mage. We got Complete. Is this a Phyrexian card or something? 2 mana for a sorcery. Complete deals 4 damage to target creature. That creature deals damage equal to its power to target creature. Deals 4 damage to target creature. That creature deals damage equal to its power to target creature. It's like chain lightning almost. You know, you deal damage to something, and then it deals damage back to something else. I wonder. Oh, actually, hold on. Does it matter if it's dead? What if it's dead already? Oh, no. I think it would be as it's resolving. So if I target something, deals 4 damage to target creature, that creature deals damage equal to its power to target creature. Oh, no, I control that too. It could punch itself in the end. That is entirely possible. But the owner of Complete chooses every target, right? I don't think so. I think I'm choosing both. So it'll deal 4 damage to target creature. So I deal damage to, like, my opponent's creature. And then, like, that creature deals damage equal to its power to target creature. I'm the controller of this spell. I'm pretty sure I'm just sniping another thing with that creature's power. There's a really strong draft card. If the 4 damage is dealt to opponent's creature, who targets the second part? I think I'm doing it as well. Z-Man, venture into graveyard means that when you would receive a non-creature, you can instead revive a creature with CMC to the venture count? Maybe. The player, yeah, I'm pretty sure that we cast both. This is a pretty strong card. I like it. Now, it's sorcery speed, for certain. State-based actions are not performed mid-resolution, and the controller chooses all targets. Exactly, yeah. I think it's cool. Shouldn't it say another target creature then? That creature deals damage equal to its power to target creature. Maybe. Yeah, it's a good question. Is it compounded to just the one creature I'm targeting, or can I target another target? So maybe it's like 4 damage plus creature punches itself. And you know what? Like, either way, it's like a fine card. It's a perfectly legal card. We got Mishra's Adventurer. 5 mana for a 6/6 Phyrexian Horror with Defender. Choose target creature. That is a look at it. But we already got look at. Look at it is already done. We can't have 2 look at it's on the same bingo card. Did we discuss the rules? Bingo. Oh, yeah, we can discuss. Usually that's on the custom card show. Discussing the rules. So look at it. You look at it. The AI, they love to look at it. They like to look at their beautiful inventions. It's even it's even pointing. The pointing people. It's very, very flavorful. I choose you, Pikachu. Okay, well. Okay, we're gonna say it does pass. It's not very good, but it does pass. I like this. The Screaming Sphinx. Sorry, the Screaming Sphinx. 2 mana for an instant. Counter target spell, activated ability, or trample? We're gonna counter trample. And you gain 3 life. I guess. How? How do we do that? That's impossible. Like, trample is just a state-based. It's just a state-based effect, or not state. It's just a static ability, unlike most creatures. I can understand if someone's trying to give trample, I could counter it. It should say something counter target spell. It's already countering a lot of stuff. Counter spells, activated abilities, or trample. What's better, triggered abilities or trample? Well, apparently the Screaming Sphinx doesn't like trample. And we also gain 3 life, by the way. Don't forget about that. It's value. Yeah. Username says, just say no to trample. That's it. Just say no. That's all you have to do. Remember, put a remove trample counter on the creature. That probably is not how it's wording it. Kills Rancor for a turn. It does it permanently, I guess. I don't know about this card. Counter target spell activated. Like, I don't think there's any situation where you can counter a static ability on a card. Oddly, if you ignore the counter trample part, this card is actually really good. That's true. But we can't ignore it. We have to disqualify it. Yeah, countering state-based abilities implies loses the ability until end of turn. Not enough implication for me. Just doesn't exist. Okay, Wicked Boins. This is a black instant. If Wicked Boins is in your opening hand, you may begin the game with it on the battlefield from your hand without paying its mana cost. If Wicked Boins is in your opening hand... No, this doesn't make any sense. It's an instant. And it actually does nothing. It literally does, yeah. What does it do? It does nothing. Do we have a do nothing thing on here? Card broken. State you win the game. No card name. No, we don't have it does nothing. Yeah, you could put an instant on the battlefield. You can't. It's not a permanent. Yeah, to the Urank with this one. I could get behind that. To the Urank with this crap. That's not a real card. It literally does not. It does nothing. Very intimidating picture, though. Fricade reminds us. Well, it does something. It boins. It boins us together. Just how it boins them together. All right, moving on. Crypt Rimple. Crypt Rimple is a 2-mana instant. Blue 1 generic. Return Crypt Rimple from your graveyard to your hand and has flashback. This card also does absolutely nothing.
No,
We have
God,
back-to-back dirtling do-nothing cards. Toilet Duck, that card is basically disqualified because the extra turn ability was also attached to an ability that didn't make sense. The whole thing got disqualified. Kribo is like, why? Why is a great question. The AI might say, well, why not? Why not? Why can't we flash back a card that does nothing? So you actually have 2 options of bringing this back. You can bring it back from your graveyard to your hand, or you can pay a green and flash it back. No, actually, hold on. I found a use for it. Hear me out, Coffee Crew. Hear me out. Hear me out. You can discard this repeatedly. Think about it. This is like the ultimate discard outlet, because then you can pay 2 mana to bring it back from the graveyard back to your hand to be rediscarded in the future. Huh? Also, if you have infinite mana, you have infinite storm. Huh? Because you cast it and then you can bring it back from the graveyard back to your hand, recast it, replay. Okay, so we have perpetual storm, incredible discard outlet. I have no idea how we use the flashback on this thing. That probably is useless. Sometimes you might have to get rid of the creature for the card for good, just in case it grows your opponent's Tarmogoyf. Is it in danger territory now? Probably not. Can you even cast this card if it has no ability? Absolutely, you can cast this card. It's just instant Crypt Rimple, and it does nothing. It has no target. It just does nothing. It goes straight to the graveyard. Armando says, there was a Yu-Gi-Oh card that its only effect was to infinitely return to your hand. It was broken. Interesting. That'd be funny if they printed this, and then it just ended up being completely busted. I'd be very surprised. Hey, the reminder text is right. Is that on a bingo card? You may cast this card from your graveyard for its flashback cost, then exile it. I can't remember. No, reminder text is wrong is on the bingo card. So it's wrong. We there to let them know it's wrong. Caesar is like, in danger then. It was broken for Yu-Gi-Oh! Must be broken for Magic. Okay, it passes with flying colors. And hopefully it doesn't get banned. That'd be the weirdest card to be banned, though. Seriously. Overgrace. The 7-mana enchantment. Whenever an opponent taps a land an opponent controls... Oh. That sounds very hard to do, though. You may sacrifice it. Tap, add double colorless. Spend this mana only to cast spells. Oh, okay, so not abilities. Or if you've chosen an anything player... Well, you know, I knew it was a little tipsy in the first half, and it tipped right over in the second half. Yeah, so this thing, you cannot use activated abilities. What's interesting, whenever an opponent taps a land an opponent controls, it's like if they Mindslaver them, you may sacrifice it. What the hell does that mean? Does that mean I can sacrifice my opponent's lands or something? No, Toilet Duck. The AI gave up immediately. Benovsky with the super chat. Thanks so much for +1 card. Fun fact, Nikachu in Spanish is Nikachu. I love that. We need those hot tips. Also, I don't know if Cornte got a super chat sound effect. Bit late, but want to help deplete the pool. Sounds great. Deplete the pool of, like, AI cards. You can only sacrifice things you can control. Maybe I do control it. Huh? Maybe I do control it, Light Code. Maybe I do. Whenever an opponent taps a land an opponent controls, which is me, you may sacrifice it. So if they tap my lands, I might want to just sacrifice them. You know what? I don't want to give my opponent the power to tap my lands, so I'm just getting rid of all of my lands. Can't tap my lands anymore. Your opponent's lands are an opponent's land for you. Exactly. That's exactly how that works around here. Okay, this is disqualified. This is awful. Stone cold trash. Oh, we have a fox. Venniving Ferox is a 3-mana 3/3 elemental shaman. When Venniving Ferox enters the battlefield, destroy all creatures of an opponent's choice. What? Okay, enters the battlefield, destroy all creatures of an opponent's choice. Well, I really have to trust that opponent now, don't I? I really have to trust that opponent. Super Politics card. It's interesting. I like this card, actually, because you really have to trust You're gonna give the power to one person, and you're really gonna have to hope that they choose right for you and probably somebody else. Did I not read a card correctly? Enters the battlefield, destroy all creatures of an opponent's choice. I think I read that correctly. It destroys all. Where is the choice? I think what it means is you destroy all the creatures an opponent chooses. That's the way I am actually interpreting this card. So if they're like this one, this one, this one, that one, you have to blow them all up. They're all going to get destroyed. He's going to destroy this thing as a result. That's possible. You fool, you've fallen for my trap. Now you have to choose what to explode. Very conflicted. That's not a bit. You're trying too hard, Toilet Duck. You're trying too hard. It's very clear when something becomes play to lose. Doesn't target gets around hexproof? Yeah, that's true actually. Just well, I mean, destroy everything always did get around hexproof, right? Cool card. I like it. Very politically interesting. The Drowner of the Absurdity. It's a 4-mana 6/6 angel. When Drowner of the Absurdity enters the battlefield, hazed, hexproof forest. That's a whole ability. Hexproof, indestructible, lifelink, mountain walk, hero. Drowner of the Abyss has first strike, and whenever a blue creature you control dies, create a 2/2 white knight creature token with vigilance. You know what? That sounds like a choose A or A to me. Hold on, let me reread this. And whenever a blue creature you control dies, close enough. F it. They were the same damn thing. Oh, was it not haste? It was haste. It was a haste. Okay. Haste, hexproof forest, hexproof, because those are not two of the same things. It didn't even say we get these things. It's just rattling off these random keywords. Is there something for something complete crap? No. Oh, chaos ensued. Absolutely. That's 100% chaos ensued. 1 million. Completely useless card. The Beast Trod. This looks familiar. 3 mana for a 4/4 Phyrexian Spirit. When Beast Trod attacks, put a flying counter on each attacking player. Ugh, damn. Well, oh, the player is a card. So what, is player a card in this point? I think all attacking players... Is there a Chaos Ensued card? Spawn the bingo card? Oh, the free space. That's right. Forgot about the free space. Okay, this one, player is a card, because apparently we're putting counters on the players. The players can fly now. Thank God. And they don't know what to do with it. You look at the art. They got question marks all around. How do we fly? How do we fly these things? So close to being legal? Not really. Oh, you mean like on each? Yeah, if it said creature at the end, it would have been legal. The fact that it said player means it isn't. So I have to punch you to gain flying? The art and text are getting more and more connected. Oh no, a lot of them are pretty connected. You know, also it depends who makes them. Will Weaver makes sure that the art is super connected to the actual card. Player can only be attacked by flying and reach would be OP if it was horsemanship. Oh, that's an interesting interpretation. If the player is flying, maybe the player is not a card. If the player is flying, yeah, you can only hit, you can only attack the player with flying. Votes for flying, that's for sure. Beast Trod votes for flying. Oh, we got the Deciment Palm. 3 mana for an equipment. Equip for 3. Indibation Trampius Blood Fed. What the hell mechanic is that? When this creature dies, each opponent exiles a land card from it. Then draw a card. Untap is an untap. Untap is the untap Simon. That is not the right reminder text. Reminder text is wrong. Very, very wrong. That's right, Toilet Duck. This equipment sounds like a demonic ritual. This equipment does nothing. When the creature dies, each opponent exiles a land card from it, which is it's also impossible. We've like disqualified, I don't know, 80% of these cards today. They're all just absolute trash. They don't do anything. Okay, Wave's Gift, the 4 mana 5/4. It's a 5/4 instant. Until end of turn, you may play up to 2 instant and or sorcery to touch wound artifact creature another player can't cast spells. Whenever you control with power with flying, get +1/+1. It was over from the beginning. It was over before I even read it. Over because of the 5/4 thing over here. Prove that AI is peak technology. It's the AI revolution, everyone. You hear? AI is going to change everything. Everything's going to get better with the AI. It's going to change our lives in unforeseen, profound ways. And then, like, we look at Magic the Gathering and it's just spitting out complete nonsense. Yeah, time to wave this card goodbye. We've had a look at it. We've had hear it. Now we have to touch it. Play 2 instants and boom! Opponent can't play. Yeah, maybe that's possible. It'd be interesting. An instant that can be like a 5/4 creature. Well, I guess that's just a creature with flash. Okay, the Topan Peddler. This is a 5 mana 6/6 Hydra with trample. Pay 4 life. Each player sacrifices a permanent. Oh, that is strong. That is strong. Then we have to flip a coin. If you win the flip, remove a +1/+1 counter from Topan Peddler. That doesn't matter. That is completely redundant. Pay 4 life. Each player sacrifices a permanent. It possibly a danger. Like, if there is a certain player with not many permanents in play, you can pay like 20 life and put them like basically in range of completely dying. Gamble to lose? Not necessarily. We got Sen Musters. This proves that we should let AI design our MTG card and fly our planes. Oh yeah, imagine this as your commander. Yeah, you can make it your commander. Get it out on turn 3. Start paying life and making everyone sack their permanents in play. Oh yeah, and a token deck? This would be very strong. You can just sack your tokens. You don't lose that much. Matthews! Real question. If it had Undying, would it be able to move the counter it got from being sacrificed? Let's see. Yes, because it's a +1/+1 counter. There's nothing unique about the Undying +1/+1 counter. All +1/+1 counters in this game are the same. So yeah, you could remove the counter and then of course do it again. So yeah, give Undying to your Topan Peddler. In fact, if you did that, oh, that's interesting. Unfortunately, you have to give Undying to it perpetually because when it dies, it has to leave the battlefield and come back. And then you have to give Undying to it again, of course. Asta's like, you broke it, ship it. Well, you know what? It is a legal card. It is a legal card. Cool stuff. Okay, this first card is brought to us by Jess. Thanks so much, Jess, for your super chat. We have, it reminds me of Teferi, because Teferi, Hero of Dominaria, is the same mana cost. But 5 mana for 4 loyalty. It's a boar. Doesn't look like a boar. +1, target player mills 4 cards. -X, draw a card, unless you pay red and 1 generic. You know what? Draw X. Oh no, it's just -X. Why is X there? Why? That is like the most pointless X of all time. Could have just said 0. There's no reason we want to go less than 0. Yeah, x can be 0. I choose x to be 0. X can be negative. Well, yeah, because you have to pay loyalty, right? So you go -7 instead of -7. You minus whatever you want. You go -4. It's highly not recommended. I would not recommend it going -4. It's not a creature type, Toilet Duck. Not a creature type. This is a planeswalker. In fact, because it's a planeswalker, this thing's named Boar. Hey, Boar. What's up? What's up, Boar? Don't be boring me, Boar. Yeah, Boar is the name. Oh, there's an emblem. Bella's like, there's a nice emblem. Whenever you get an emblem with whenever an opponent casts their first spell each turn, draw 2 cards. Wow! Opponent casts their first spell. That's awesome. Okay, pass. Sword of Zybras. Next card brought to us by Captain Rumia. Thanks so much. Maralil Chimera. This is a 3-mana 3/1 zombie jackal. You may exert Maralil Chimera as it attacks. When you do, destroy target creature an opponent controls. If you do, Maralil Chimera assigns no combat damage this turn. Attacks. So, okay. Yeah, that works actually. Wow, that actually made sense from beginning to end. So we can exert this. It's an exert card, and we can destroy a creature our opponent controls, and then we actually just don't deal damage. It's like it reminds me of Glorybringer in a way, except this is probably going to get blocked, and then it's going to die. Feels like an old card, says Akito. Yeah, an old bad card. Is that an old mechanic? Not old. Exert is like less than 15 years old. Not that old. They sort of didn't come back to it, but like, maybe they will. All right, Dragons of Tarkir is around the corner. We're going back to Tarkir. Bingo alert, Y creature type for the Boar Planeswalker. No, but it's technically not. That's just the name. Toilet Duck. That's just the name. Come on, Toilet Duck. You got to be clear with these bingo suggestions. They got to be solid, and because some planeswalkers, some of the planeswalkers, it says creature, so it's like obviously a planeswalker, but it's like creature whatever. You know what I mean? That it would work. No, it's got to be longer than 50. I think Exert came out maybe about 11 years ago or something. You can't do -X on cards? Sure you can. I think there's quite a few. Actually, I don't know how many planeswalkers have -X, but I bet there's at least one. Hence how they got the idea. Resident Black player here. Ship this thing so I can spend 90 cents for it on my commander decks. You got it! All right, value. And is a real card. Realish enough. Okay, we got the Hinder Scout Extortionist for 2 mana. Brought to us by Aquane Boy. Thanks so much for your super chat. This is a 2/3. It's a land. Land is the creature type. With exploit. Whenever a creature attacks you or a planeswalker you control, draw a card. But what does the exploit do? Didn't explain that at all. Exploit's supposed to give you like a special ability for the exploit cost. Could you go -10? No, you couldn't. Cannot do that. Must be of whole numbers. Oh boy, that's a lot of draw. How many cards are we drawing? Whenever a creature attacks you or a planeswalker you control, draw a card. This would be awesome. Oh man, why did they just put that exploit there? Because this would be like a pretty cool busted card otherwise. Whenever a creature attacks you, draw a card. It's nice. It's value. It's a value card. If the subtype is land, can it be played for free? No. No, wait. That's a good question. I don't know. I don't know if subtypes would count. The super type probably has to count. We have more people asking. Would this count as your land drop since it has the subtype land? I think the super type needs to be land. Land as a subtype is probably just a subtype. It's a land is the creature type. You can have land creatures. We can have sorcery creatures. We can have instant creatures. We might even be able to have planeswalker creatures. That's the only deal. Search your library for a land card. Oh! It probably does count as a land card when searching your deck. Yes. Yeah, when searching your deck, that probably works. Yeah, as Sheev Lords is about to say. If an effect says search your land, search for a land card put onto the battlefield, would it work in this card? I think you're right. I think it would. It is a land card. It's not the super type, but it is the subtype. But because the exploit doesn't do anything, I'm disqualifying it. Interesting card discussion, though. Be a great card to fetch out. Drown in the Flesh. Thanks to Captain Rumia. Thank you very much for this card. Have the fleshes been reached now? Enchantment. At the beginning of combat on your turn, put a +1/+1 counter on each creature you control. Then if Drown in the Flesh is an enchantment, Drown in the Flesh becomes a 3/2 human cleric creature and becomes a black creature. It's literally a reaching for the fleshes. The fleshes have been reached once again. In this case, they've been reached so far, we're drowning in them. We'll count this one. The fleshes have been reached. It's so funny. The priest reached the top of the flesh. They did. Right at the top. It's the Pope. The old Pope. Another flesh art card. We had reach for flesh. Now he has all the meats. All of it. You gotta eat it fast. It's gonna spoil horribly like that, though. Hold on, I gotta read the card. I don't even know what the card does. 5-mana enchantment. At the beginning of combat on your turn, put a +1/+1 counter on each creature you control. Okay. Then if Drown in the Flesh is an enchantment, which it normally is, Drown in the Flesh becomes a 3/2 human cleric creature and becomes a black creature. Interesting. It becomes a creature. Another enchantment that becomes a creature. This is like the second one. It's a card. I wouldn't say it's good, but it's a card. The Desperate Infantry. This card is brought to us by Karatane. Thanks so much. This is a 5-mana equipment, flying. When Desperate Infantry enters the battlefield, you get Chapter 2. Chapter 2 from a saga. What are we gonna do with it? Tap. Target creature gets +1/+1 and gains trample until end of turn. Flying equipment. Oh yeah, it's a flying. Oh, I mean, I guess it's an equipment that gains flying, but we can't even equip to anything here. It does nothing. What is that symbol for when I get it? It's a Chapter 2 symbol. I guess you immediately get sacrificed because you have more chapters on you than you have you have more chapter counters. No, I guess you get the chapter but not the counters, but then you have no chapters and no chapter counters. But my card is on Chapter 3. Would it be nice if you could choose a saga? Yeah, that would be cool. And change it to Chapter 2. Either move forward or go backwards. I think that'd be a great idea. That's not what it does, though. All right, Nikachu just needs to have a little Chapter 2 thing on stream or a little pin to wear. Yeah, I'll have it's like a medallion. I think it would make a cool pendant of some sort. The sacrificing depends on lore counters versus chapters. Only applies to the saga super type. Ah, okay. So I can have as many as I want on me. Equipment that I cannot even equip. What rubbish. Benovsky, thank you so much for your super chat. And for that, we look at the hero's pathway. Clear the way for the hero. This is a 3-mana enchantment. Whenever a creature enters the battlefield, its controller draws a card. At the beginning of your upkeep, return an island or sorcery card from your graveyard to your hand. Whenever a creature, its controller draws... So everybody gets to cash in on their creatures. So whoever's playing the token deck is about to make out big. Make out super big, if not broken. At the beginning of your upkeep, return an instant or sorcery card from your graveyard to your hand. That's interesting. So this is like just resources the gathering. Everyone draws a billion cards. I get to bring back my best instants and sorceries. Goes infinite with time. Oh yeah, that's true. Yeah, goes completely infinite. You cast it once and no one could interact. They'll never interact again. Shieldred combo. Oh. Probably too good, despite the first ability being reciprocal. Yeah, maybe. Okay. But I'll tell you this much: it's legal. It's perfectly legal, and not supremely broken. Jack Solaris, thanks so much for your super chat. First time watching AI Show live. Let's take a look at another card. All right, Jack, your card is the Cake of Eozin. It's a 5-mana 5/7 Grinch with Death Touch. And whenever Cake attacks, you may put a creature card from your hand onto the battlefield. Whenever the Cake... Hold on, what is attacking? The Grinch or the Cake? Or is this one of those tag team cards? And maybe the Cake's not actually attacking. It's actually it's the demon within the Cake. It was actually the thing coming after you the entire time. Broken? Busted? How's it busted? Maybe put a creature card from your hand onto the battlefield. I don't see how this is that different from a lot of these other cards that when they attack, you get like an extra attack step or whatever. I think this is within the range of, okay. I like how the Cake seems to be summoning a demon, says Captain Rumia. It's probably what it's doing, because like how much damage can a Cake deal to you? Now, maybe over the course of a lifetime, diabetes, heart disease, the Cake can do serious damage. But in like in a battle in a short time frame, nothing. No. If anything, it'll give you power. It's delicious. Petra's like, yes, let's cheat out my Emrakul. Well, somehow you have to play with people who are not familiar with the ban list. This needs another creature named Cake in play to work right. Oh, you might be right. Whenever Cake attacks, maybe Cake is like a, what's it called? A token. Like make Cake tokens. And then for each Cake token, you can like put a creature from your hand onto the battlefield. A lot of work. It makes enough sense that I'm going to give it a pass, though. It does make enough sense. So all these Grinch cards. We're going back to the Christmas stuff. Okay, Karante, another one. Pool's not depleted yet. How far does it go? 2 mana for a 1/2 Grinch. Haste. Mind Lash. Portal Stick enters the battlefield. Each player secretly votes for Fellows, Artifact, and or the creatures and creature cards with mana value X or less from among them, and puts them into their graveyard. What does this even do? Each player secretly votes for Fellows. So I can vote for the Fellows, the Artifacts, or creatures and creature cards with mana value X or less from among them, and puts them into their graveyard. It's like we're voting... Are we voting for flying, or are we voting for deeply? I have a feeling, what's the I don't know which one the flying would be. Maybe the Fellows. Finally, an election with multiple options. You know what? Maybe the AI did give up halfway on this one. Yeah, I give it to that one. Yeah, finally. We did have the AI give up halfway. I vote for fellows. Those fellows must... The fellows must leave. X or less? What is X? I always vote for homies. Vote for nothing here. Oh, we got August. Here, have one from Guteborg, if I pronounced that correctly. Civic Puppeteer. 7 mana, 5/5 Grinch. Legendary snow creature. Has flying for some reason. I guess the Grinch might be magical. Creatures you control have double strike. And whenever you commit a crime, Civic Puppeteer gets +1/+0 until end of turn, and can't be blocked by creatures that opponent controls. I guess we have to choose one opponent. Not all opponents, only one. This is a really good card, though. It's an evasive creature that gets even more evasive. That gives all our creatures double strike. Yeah, a crime, which means you have to just target something. So committing a crime just means you target something with anything. You choose, you look at it. You look at it, you've basically committed a crime. The opponent you commit the crime. Oh yeah, I guess that's true. The opponent I commit a crime against. You have been burglarized. I am unblockable. I guess that opponent is the victim of that crime. Yeah, I suppose so. No, yeah. I'm unblockable against you. What the hell is going on here? The Grinch went back in time like 120 years to steal from the rich. His presents are going to be like, what would a present from like the early 1900s be? A yo-yo? I'm trying to think of toys back then. A yo-yo, maybe a crayon. I don't know what else. Chalk? Stuff like that. So do cards that target other cards without doing anything count as committing a crime? Yep. Committing a crime, very vague. Very, very vague. Very open to interpretation. I mean, it's basically just you target something and you've committed a crime. Cool. Print it. Okay, next super chat coming from Captain Rumia. Thanks so much. It is... I'm voting for whom? It's a secret. You're voting for more AI cards. That's what you're voting for. The Gate Catalyst. That's 3 mana enchantment. If Gate Catalyst is in your opening hand, you may begin the game with it on the battlefield. Thank God this actually works. Instead of putting instants on the battlefield. If a card would be put into your graveyard from anywhere, exile it instead. Okay. So it's like a one-sided Leyline of the Void. At the beginning of your end step, target opponent draws a card. Okay, I think this one is playing to lose. Yeah, at the beginning of your end step, target opponent draws a card. There's like nothing to this card. There's nothing good. It's like, okay, it's a one-sided Leyline of the Void, and we don't get to, we get negative card draw. Our opponents just get the cards. Playing to lose, indeed. This is a little loose. I'd rather we were actually losing. But we have like 2 sentences that didn't help us at all. We got John saying, first time catching live. Show like 17 years after. Is it 17? I've not been on YouTube for 17 years. A political card that you don't spend resources on or donate. Is it really that useful? At the beginning of your end step, target opponent. Oh, I see. Yeah, it's like sort of group huggy, I guess. It can help trigger your Consecrated Sphinx. Oh, you don't want to draw cards? Well, I'm going to force you to draw cards. Because when you draw cards, we all draw cards around here. Or you could donate it. It's possible. But they may not choose you as the target, right? They get to choose the opponent. I mean, I guess if it's one-on-one, that's fine. But this is a pretty weak card one-on-one, wouldn't you say? Okay, and we got Austin Salmons. I vote for an AI card and Nikachu made. Well, I don't make any. So we have to deal with whatever has been created by the AI community. Festivus Rogue with a tiny hat. 8 mana for a 2/3 human soldier. Tap. Target land you control becomes a 10/10 Loltar dinosaur creature token with Toxic 18. That's pretty big. The 18 is quite redundant, right? Once they have 10 toxic, they're dead. They're certainly, you would think they were dead. They're extra dead now. Ender is like, yes, 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 18 that's what I need around here. 10, toxic 10, that's for chumps. Toxic 18, that's for the big people, all right? That's the adult level of toxic here. Kirk is like, hear me out. It's 8 mana and doesn't have haste, nor is it legendary. Yeah, this is where you try to convince your group, your play group. It's fair, I swear. Look, it's a one because hold on. Also, we're tapping it to turn it into a dinosaur. Sorry, no. Target land you control becomes a 10/10 dinosaur with Toxic 8. There's a lot of work to do. Okay, it comes into play. It's got summoning sickness. Next turn, I gotta tap it. I gotta animate a land. I have to get in the red zone. It still has to connect for damage. It dies to bolt. I don't know what the land that we're activating with, but oh, what a combo! Agatha's Soul Cauldron to exile Festivus Rogue from your graveyard and then put it on any creature. That could be pretty good. In case I lose that for the amount of toxic, also, it's not until the end of turn, it danger. No, well, it's an 8 mana card. What do you want from 8 mana? 8 mana better be this crappy. Or 8, for a card this good, it better be 8 mana. If it was like 3 mana, it'd probably danger more. There it is, great. A man of excavating the land and finding a dinosaur. You're right. All right, that's it. Did we not get a damn bingo? We didn't get a bingo. It was close, just in case I lose that. No. Oh, hold on. What did you say? Toxic 18. No, we're never losing anything here, though. What's the rope connected to? A tooth. Festivus Rogue is about... This is secretly a dentist over here. All right, that's it for today's show. I hope you love the AI nonsense. We do this weekdays, 3 p.m. Central Standard Time. If you want to be part of the show, please be there and join us. And of course, we got to thank everyone who supports the channel. If you're a patron on Patreon, a member on YouTube, or you donate, you super chat to be part of the show, or even super chat so other people are part of the show. And of course, thank you so much, my coffee crew, for being here today. What would I do without all of you? People like Chris and Paul Rong, Captain Rumia, and Old Boy, Bell, Chris Bonehead, Yeezus, Kano, Z-Man Vader, Matthew, Steve Cooper, Trip Fontaine. We got Benovsky, Kankusha, Toads, Kirk, Light Code. We got Sen. We got Straga, Corente, Ave. These you guys are the crew. So as usual, my coffee crew, keep brewing up them coffees. And we're going to keep brewing up the magic. Take care of yourselves, and I will see you at the next cup.